Hello, everyone. Welcome to Word Funk. I am Leon Thomas. I am joined by Austin Yorsky and Johnny Maloney.
I'd like to thank you for agreeing to theme this week's Word Funk as the 1 hour retrospective tribute a cappella David Bowie sing-off. So I believe what we have first on the itinerary is Austin wants to do Golden Years backed by banjo and theremin.
I like that Austin is just no-selling your joke.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave you hanging. I was fussing with my audio stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, the theremin's a very sensitive instrument. I can understand that I mean, we did say a cappella, but I'm okay with banjo and theremin. I mean, that's
Do
pretty
people know
minimal.
what that is? That's the Tesla thing where you stick your hands in it and it makes woo noises.
Yeah,
It's the ghosty instrument.
right. It's primarily used for ghosts and UFOs. Yeah.
I do want to learn how to play it though.
Okay.
While we're on the subject, I want to get a theremin.
How do I sound, guys?
You sound fine.
Handsome.
Okay, that's good. I was worried. Did it sound weird when...
Post-pubescent, definitely. If you like, I mean, I don't feel like I'm a creep by saying that you sound handsome, because you don't sound like 14 or something. So,
Well, it wasn't weird until you brought it up. And now
hey,
it is.
I just wanted to be clear. That's,
All right, so it didn't sound weird when we started the call or anything?
Not as far as I can tell.
That's good.
Okay.
Does that mean something? Is that like, what does that mean?
Well, my whole situation is a thing right now. Are you guys...
Is your whole situation a thing?
This whole situation is a thing, Leon. Try and be sensitive, okay?
I'm sorry.
I mean, last week we had a really structured episode where we talked about like topics and technology and the future. This is going to be one of those the other kind of word funk experiences where at any moment it all could come crashing down as my computer implodes in on itself.
Okay. Guys, I don't have anything like big to talk about this week in terms of big news stories or technology or games or movie releases or anything like that. But I do want to say one thing. Don't leave hypodermic needles on your front porch.
You're not my real dad. You can't tell me what to do.
It's gross.
How do you feel about me leaving hypodermic needles on other people's front porches?
It's bad, but at least it won't speak ill of you immediately when I go to your front porch. So here's the thing. Luckily for me, I don't know. You guys don't know this because, we've known each other for years, but you've never seen me in person, which is weird. But when I walk, I look down a little. Not like to avoid eye contact. I mean, literally, no matter what, even if there's nobody around. I guess I'm just always looking for change or something. But not like straight down, like I'm staring at my shoelaces. But I'm not looking directly forward. I'm always kind of like checking to make sure I don't slip and fall.
Knowing your neighborhood, you got to keep an eye out for rogue Gatorades that people leave. You never know when you could scoop up a good deal on that citrus rush.
That's a callback.
Quench that thirst, Leon.
For reasons I don't even want to get into, I had to walk up to someone's porch in a trailer park not too far from where I live. I don't live in a trailer park, but there is one not far from where I live. And I had to go there for reasons I won't explain. But I will explain this. There's a bunch of dirty used needles on their front porch right next to their door. So when the fella who I needed to see walked out after I knocked on the door, I said, "You should pick up these needles because I don't want to step on them." And I just kind of stared at him until he did it.
Damn. I was expecting this story to end with you getting your teeth knocked out, but
No. The person agreed with this assessment. I think this person didn't do this in the right frame of mind. Like maybe this person was super high when they did that because they
or perhaps, let's give people the benefit of the doubt here, perhaps he's a claustrophobic diabetic.
Okay. That's That's possible. There's all kinds of reasons why there could be a bunch of used needles on the front porch of this person's home. That's entire, like it might not even be anything illicit. But here's the thing: even if there's no AIDS in these needles, I still don't want to step on one. So, don't do that at all. You can't just I don't know why you're. Here's the thing. I'm wondering how they got there, because he's either on his front porch shooting up, and is like, this is exactly the right place and temperature for what I am doing today, or he did it in his home, and he was like, I don't want these in my hands anymore, and he chucked them out the window, and they landed right next to his door.
Or he's invented a really super involved way to get cream inside of profiteroles.
Here's another possibility. He's Kevin McAllister all grown up, and this is like the adult version of paint cans.
Have you guys ever heard the story about Iggy Pop when he used to go on like crazy heroin benders with his friends, and they would like basically lock themselves in a whole hotel room for a week and shoot up heroin and then use the needles to like draw and squirt blood at each other and like have blood fights?
That's terrible.
Like squirt guns.
How is he alive?
Magic, sorcery.
All right.
And of David Bowie, Lou Reed, and Iggy Pop is the only one left alive.
Oh man, I would say we should do like a topic or something about Bowie, but we literally talked about Bowie like a couple of weeks ago. We talked about like our favorite songs and what he meant to us. It was like really eerie timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my
but
case,
he is
on the night that he passed away. I was watching a documentary that not only was he in, but he also executive produced.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know that, because I was watching a documentary about Scott Walker, the musician, not the presidential candidate or ex-presidential candidate. I think he dropped out
pretty quickly.
Yeah, and it was like executive produced by David Bowie. I was like, I didn't know David Bowie made this, and he shows up on camera, and I was like, David Bowie, you look pretty good.
I've been listening to Black Star in like a loop since the news broke, and it's like that album. I think you said like the single was like the anti-single. It's a really like dense, arty piece, but it makes so much more sense knowing that it was written while he was struggling with terminal cancer. Because there's a really like, I think someone said it basically like he wrote his own eulogy.
Yeah,
and it's a powerful album. I really like it. It
really is. The thing that I like about it the most is that, and this is going to sound really weird, is that I don't think it would have snaked into as many people's record collections, and except for that fact, that it was like David Bowie just released a new album. David Bowie just died. There's probably a whole lot of people that bought that album. And I believe his record label, too, is donating a lot of the money from sales of it to cancer research. But there's a lot of people listening to that album who are like now extra uncomfortable.
Well, it's part of it. It's the relevant context. It's what it's about, really.
Yeah, it's sort of like even his passing, he was like, watch this.
Yeah, he went out as much on his terms as someone with terminal cancer can, and that's a very Bowie thing.
Yeah. So here's to you, David. Thanks.
Yeah. Just a badass beginning to end. Whew. So do you guys want to move on to a happier topic, or do you want to hear about my stupid computer?
I want to hear about your stupid computer.
Okay. So my current rig is about 7 years old. It's worked pretty well for me. It's I hadn't have any problem gaming or doing any of the various things I do. But
it's a laptop though, right? Like it's a 7-year-old laptop?
Yeah, I mean it has a dedicated graphics card, and it had what was like top of the line processor 7 years ago. So like it's a laptop, but it's not your average like.
No, I just mean that like you haven't, because when I talk about how my computer's like, I don't know, when I say it's 3 years old.
Well, it's not. It's a case that is constantly being like filled with new shit.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at here.
Your computer is like a Pokemon, but it's gotten past the Mega Evolution stage to something new, which they'll inevitably have to introduce in like 3 more generations.
Actually, the only thing that I've got in my current case that's newer, that's newer than I think 3 years old now is a hard drive. Everything else is as it was assembled back in like I think 2013.
It's very impressive. I'll try to keep this short because I know people hate tech talk, or at least one important person in this call hates tech talk.
No, I'm curious just because it's you, not because of like bits and gigas.
Yeah, it's not me, so it's fine.
I'll try to keep the volts and watts to a minimum. But no, it hard locked, crashed out, and I turned it back on, and the screen was just all jacked up. So I took it apart with a jeweler's screwdriver, took everything out, cleaned it, took all the uninstalled all the drivers. Like I did as much as could be expected to be done with a computer, and it just is still borked as far as I can tell, and it seems to be a problem with the GPU. Johnny was telling me that like maybe it's something else that's giving me that reading, but it really doesn't matter. If it could be the screen, it could be the CD drive. The fact is, I can't fix it on the current budget, so I'm just kind of stuck with the machine as it is. So my plan basically is to podcast until the wheels fall off. It would be weird. Like I don't know if we could do Dice Funk without me, but I'm replaceable on this show, right?
No, it has to. We've developed a triangular rapport that only works. That only works this way.
Which part of the triangle is the hypotenuse? Is it from me to you, or is it from Johnny to you?
I think what Leon is trying to say is that he feels like that the gap between he and I is the long one in the isosceles triangle.
He's saying we're equal. If it is isosceles, then one of us is farther away. That was the joke. Geometry funk.
Okay, so your computer is bad. Do you have like a backup plan for when it dies, like completely?
Not really. Like when I was talking about it on Twitter, I think it was Creature, famous word funk question asker Creature, who suggested like doing some kind of crowdfunding thing. But I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that. I think the present situation, given I'm like ramping up to go to law school or whatever, is I'll just podcast until it breaks, and then I'll be out of the game. Like I don't know what else there is to do. Like I have the Patreon set up, but like I don't. It feels weird to like ask for shit. I'm uncomfortable like self-promoting.
Okay.
I guess my point is like, yeah, if everybody listening to this threw in a couple bucks, we could solve it, but that's not anybody's obligation. So I'm just going to do the best I can, and we'll see how it turns out, I guess. Here's another thing.
Yeah.
I guess this might fall under Florida stories.
Right.
It's related insofar as my life is falling apart.
Oh, sorry.
Guess whose roommate's spending 3 months in jail? It's me.
Oh, what's going on? Is this okay to
was it cookies? Was it cookies, Austin? Was there illicit baking?
Is this okay to talk about just before we continue?
Yeah, I'm not going to mention any names.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So whatever. I mean, I could be making this up, but I'm not, so.
Let's call him Zubart. What trouble did Zubart get into this time?
Could I call him Zubat? No, that's a Pokemon reference. Sorry,
Zubat. With any of this means. What happened with your guy there?
Zubart got a DUI like a year and a half ago.
Oh.
And I guess like the only immediate penalty for that was like he got his license suspended and he's on probation. Right. You saw a couple months ago when I was tweeting about the cops who came to my house, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
I was tweeting about that because my other roommate, who was African American, said he said in the text group chat, "Hey, there's a cop here. Can someone white deal with this?"
Was that like what time of day was that?
It was like 2 because I was still sleeping.
Well, then
two in the morning or 2 in the
afternoon.
2 in the afternoon.
I'm at work, so
Yeah.
I may have seen it. I don't know.
So yeah, first of all, how 2015 is that text? Can someone white deal with the police? I'm uncomfortable right now. But yeah, so at like 2 p.m., I was sleeping, and there was just a fucking crashing knocking on the door, just going apeshit on it. And I tried to like nowhere and go back to sleep because I wasn't expecting it. When eventually I had to get up because it was just this person was battle of the bulging our front door. So I went out there and answered it, and it was the police. And they were like, what the fuck's going on? Why aren't you answering the door? And I was like, I was sleeping. And first of all, it was 2 p.m. So automatically they were suspicious of that. Then they looked past me, and the TV was on, and a video game was paused, and no one else was in the house because everyone else had like run out the back to get away from the cops. Oh. So it looked like I was lying, and also because I was really tired because I had just woken up, it looked like I was high. So it looked like I was just like the most untrustworthy lying scumbag in the universe when I answered the door. But long story short, they were there looking for my roommate because he had not shown up for a court date or something related to his probation. And now, fast forward a couple months later, like yesterday, he still had not done whatever he was supposed to do. They picked him up. Now he's in jail, and he's not getting out, apparently, for like 3 months. Oh. So we've circled back to modern day, I guess. The moral of the story is he is going to owe rent and electricity for 3 months that he's not going to be here.
This is like another penalty on top of it. That's terrible.
Well, he's also definitely losing his job, right? And he's going to fail all his classes.
Why? All right, here's a dumb question, and there may be a perfectly reasonable explanation for this. Why didn't he just show up? I mean, they said that I mean, did he think that nothing was going to happen, or did he just forget and like it's an honest mistake?
I think the original thing was because we had only moved to this location relatively recently, and like I said, he got the DUI a year and a half ago. So I think like maybe some of those messages were lost, and like he didn't get his mail forwarded.
Oh.
But between now and a couple months ago, I have no idea how he dropped the ball on that. Like everyone I've talked to has been like flabbergasted that he fucked up this bad, because they let him off. Like a DUI is serious. Like that's not like a joking like kids are going to be kids thing. Like that's, you could kill someone.
Yeah.
And he got off with like just a suspended license basically, and they're going to check up on you every once in a while. Like that's pretty gracious.
That's not the worst.
And I don't know how he fucked it.
Was it that he couldn't drive to the courthouse because he had a suspended license?
I mean, like, there's 1,000 people we know with cars. Getting a ride is not a problem. You can just call up anyone on the block.
But, I mean, sometimes you're shy and you don't want to ask people for favors.
I have the opposite problem, Johnny, because I like to walk everywhere. And, like, 3 or 4 times, like, the first week I was here, people pull up to me like, hey, you want to ride, man? I see you're walking. And I'm like, no, it's cool. I just walk places. I kept having to turn people down because everyone wanted to give me a ride. It's not a problem in this neighborhood. There's rides aplenty. I don't know. He doesn't talk about it. I don't know how much longer that friendship's going to last. I've known him for like a decade.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Leon, let's focus. The real problem here is my computer.
So what you got to do, all right, you got to get yourself a crowdfunding operation that's like, help me bail out my friend of a decade out bracket and get a new laptop.
You know what we joked about is like I said we should have a It's a Wonderful Life party where everyone shows up and throws money in a basket. But I don't know. I just feel weird about like begging, I guess. I don't know. There's this whole like cultural thing about it, Is
it even begging anymore? I mean, like, I can understand if you're like money for beer, money for weed and beer, right? Like that's begging. But if it's like, if you're a writer and, part of the fact that like, I mean, Dice Funk is part of your Patreon. It's part of you saying, hey, if you guys pay me on a monthly basis, even just a couple of bucks, I will do this thing. And you're basically saying, I may not be able to do this thing.
I mean, the thing is that because of the way capitalism is, we don't value the labor of people who do creative stuff, right? It's just there's this weird like double standard of like if you work.
I do. I value it.
I try to. Except for Sean. Yeah. Like I said, like I could have just grabbed PDFs of all the Dungeons and Dragons books. Like that shit's very easy to find and torrent. But like I paid for them because I wanted to support the work that Wizards does. I think it's cool. Yeah. I try to support like indie musicians and game devs and stuff. Not everybody does. I can't make you. I mean, we've had like the piracy conversation before, and some of us are on other sides of the fence than others. Like
no.
I know.
I'm joshing you. I bought a lot of games recently, and I paid money for it. That like
I know.
Like,
And we can talk about Leon playing games soon. As soon as I get off my fucking soapbox here. Jeez, someone knock me off.
boom.
We'll take care of you, Austin. It'll be fine. Don't worry.
The
Lord Gorfinax provides.
Okay.
Oh God, but what?
Usually things drenched with a certain amount of entrails and or like blood or other bodily fluids. But when you look beneath all the viscera, you find things of
How much does a laptop?
matter.
How much does a laptop cost? Because I never buy them. I'm a desktop person.
Oh, I mean, it depends on what you're getting in it. I need, a certain amount for certain things, but
Johnny, you know things. Ballpark. What would a laptop that Austin would need cost?
like what you're asking is like, how much does a car cost?
In American dollars, please.
You see, Leon, here's the problem: is that Canadians, we don't deal in real money anymore.
Actually, it's funny because I'm looking into apartments in Ottawa, and I say this is 695 Canadian dollars a month, and I'm like, I wonder what that is in American dollars. And then I looked it up on this currency converter, and that's only 483 American dollars. So that's cheap. That's
Isn't that relatively recent? Like the Canadian dollar like took a dive relatively recently,
It
right?
hit the lowest value, comparison value to the United States since 2003, just mere days ago, actually.
So what I'm saying is I can live on the cheap in what is a relatively large city with a good reputation.
Until Kaiser Trump takes over, and then we'll crush you and take all your poutine.
I'm just saying that like me looking into living in Canada now seems like the best time to do it because I could actually like survive on Renegade Cut without having to have a second job.
I would, if I were you, I would look into Canadian tax.
Yeah, that's my only concern because I feel like there must be like a hidden fee here somewhere.
We have significantly higher taxes than America does, and that's where we get things like the money to pay for free healthcare.
Right.
I mean, it's not like it's free healthcare is a misnomer in the first place because everybody has to pay one way or another. But it basically gets wrapped up into taxes. Yeah. So, like what's the sales tax where you are? When you go to the store and you buy something and it's like $1, how many extra cents do you pay on that?
We know what sales tax is, Johnny.
No. What he's saying is it's different for every state here. In my state, it's about 6.2%, 6.25%.
I know, just the condescending way he explained it was funny.
I'm not explaining it to you guys. I'm like, if there might be somebody out there who doesn't know what sales tax is because not every country has sales tax. True. Sometimes they wrap it up into income tax.
That is 100% true. I just thought it was funny the way you said it.
In British Columbia, where I live, it is 12%.
Oh. Wonder where it is in Ontario.
And that is only because we have a 7% provincial sales tax. And then we have a 5% federal tax called the Goods and Services Tax, or the GST, as it is often disapprovingly referred to as.
Okay.
Florida's is higher, and we don't have income tax. So
yeah, you see, we have income tax as well, though.
Yeah.
So it's and the income tax slides according to your revenue.
Still, it seems like a pretty sweet gig. I mean,
I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll talk about me living in Canada some other time. Let's talk about video games, which is not a thing I often say. I played and beat Hotline Miami recently, which is normally when I start playing a game, I'm kind of in it for about 6 months. This is a game that you can finish in about 6 hours. According to my Steam thing, it took me 8. But I think that it's because I like in a very frustrated way went through certain levels many times. 8 hours though really means it took me about 2.5 weeks. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I smashed a lot of things and wondered what it all meant. And so I had fun with it. I would have gone faster had I realized that I could put on a different mask, which would give me special powers on every level. I didn't notice, so I just kept using the one that doesn't do anything
Wait, you went through the whole game without utilizing the main feature?
No. Like halfway through the game.
Oh, okay.
Like the first 8 or 9 chapters.
Leon's game reviews. Do you know Link has a sword in Zelda? This shit's crazy.
I didn't realize I could like make my character better. But then I did. I was like, oh, okay. I'll just always have more ammo because then I can shotgun everyone, and it was good. And that made the game go by better. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm sort of like pleased that I am playing games that I can finish quickly. Because now I can like play more games and talk about them instead of saying I'm still playing Skyward Sword, which I am. I get like a half an hour in every few days.
You gotta stop playing fucking JRPGs as much as you love them. They don't fit your lifestyle. You gotta get in that $5-10 indie scene, and you can play a new game every 2 weeks.
My plan is basically that I'm gonna have a bunch of indie games and smaller games I can play, but also in the background I will be playing a game like Skyward Sword or Tales of whatever. Like
this is a good plan. I approve.
Yeah. So oh, by the way, I figured out some puzzles in Skyward Sword, and now I feel like I'm at the boss of this level, so that's good. And that's it. That's what's going on with me in video games.
How good was the soundtrack in Hotline Miami? The goodest,
oh
right?
Oh my god, I love that so much.
It's some 80s synth ass goodness.
Yeah, it's good. I liked it a lot.
I haven't heard Johnny's voice enough for my liking. Did you play any video games this week, Johnny?
A little bit, yeah. I'm actually I started poking around into, at first out of a sense of morbid curiosity, and then I actually started to enjoy it. Assassin's Creed Unity.
No.
Did they fix it?
They fixed it. I mean, you know, like it's sort of fixed.
No, Johnny, you did.
You can play it. I mean, it still has problems, but
I can play it.
Okay, you can play it. Well,
and
on your computer.
It has some design problems as well, like the fact that, I mean, there's something like 5 different types of currency in the game, which is just like, which is a bunch of heavy-handed, clumsy bullshit. To where it's like, you know, you need to earn money in game, and then like you need to earn skill points in game running missions to upgrade your guy, and then you can like buy gear, and then you have to use another money to upgrade that gear. But then if you don't want to use that money to upgrade that gear, you can use real money to buy other money that you can use to hack upgrades for that gear. And it's just like their economy is a disaster. It's like we're talking like gas station bathroom disaster with no lock on the door.
No.
And I mean, some of the things that they were like trying to add and do, like I've had mixed success with the co-op missions. The best success I've had is when it's like 2-player co-op missions, because then that's just like, oh, hey, it's me and this guy. But the 4-player co-ops are a clusterfuck. Like, it's just, it's stupid bad. I don't know what they were thinking. But it did make me realize what I really enjoy most about the Assassin's Creed games, and that's wandering around history. And it's good for that.
A history that totally misrepresents the French Revolution.
Oh, yeah, entirely. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, like, do you have to write a paper on the French Revolution, kids? Ha 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 ha. Fuck that reading shit. Play Assassin's Creed Unity instead. You know, but it's...
But at least like the other Assassin's Creed, they actually taught you shit about history. This one's just wrong. I talked about, when I played Unity, Johnny, that, like...
Yeah.
Everyone jokes about how glitchy that game was, how broken it was on launch, but now that it's fixed and it operates as intended, it's still awful.
Oh, the plot is troubling.
It's shit. The characters are boring. They've janked up all the stealth. It's so bad. Oh, that game is a trash fire.
But I like wandering around Paris. Like it's a fun place to be.
Did you play Black Flag?
I did, yeah.
That's so much better. I can't.
Yeah, Black Flag was fun.
Unity is the worst of the entire series.
It is by no means like anywhere near my favorite. You know, like not even in the top 3, absolutely. But it's now that it's working, I kind of like I'm really enjoying wandering around like this new engine city that they've got. And I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they were trying to do.
Have you looked at the map?
You took a step in a direction. Yeah, it's not very big.
It's not that the size of the map; it's that there's so many icons that it's like a pile of them. They obscure each other. They're like it's end-to-end icons for days.
They've been having that problem for fucking years. Watch Dogs was a fucking mess, man. I don't know if you ever got around to playing Watch Dogs, but it was the same. It was like it drops you in the world, and then it's like there's a race over here, there's a break-in over here. Oh, by the way, while you were looking at that thing, some girl is gonna get mugged. You better save her, but only after violence gets perpetrated on her.
Yeah. Wow. No, I mean, there's no Watch Dogs is bad too. But
they had to Ubisoft has to reel it in a little bit, absolutely. But I mean, like I'm not going to say that I hate playing Assassin's Creed because the map is a pain in the ass and their plotting is stupid, because then like most of their games would be horrible. It's totally bubblegum entertainment for me as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't even like. The only thing that makes it AAA at this point in time is the amount of money that they throw at it. For me, it's just kind of like I said, I just kind of like, wandering around the rooftops of old Paris. That there's just something meditative about it.
Yeah, I hear Syndicate's good. I hope.
But I'm not gonna recommend it to anybody. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, you have to go out and play Assassin's Creed Unity right now. You should probably avoid it. Actually, the Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed franchise as a whole is kind of like, I don't know, like Austin said, dipping in the trash fire.
I hear Syndicate's better.
I heard that they reeled back some of the design choices on Syndicate. The fact that they didn't go for like multiplayer, and that it's a little bit more user friendly and just not like an assault on every single sense.
I played the first one for an hour once, and that is it.
The first one's like an okay proof of concept. Not a great game, but. Yeah. No, it's inoffensive.
Okay.
Yeah. But apart from that, I mean, Star Wars has got me dipping into some of my old Star Wars catalog. I've been playing X-Wing again with designs to go into TIE Fighter and then later into X-Wing Alliance too. I'm skipping X-Wing versus TIE Fighter because that was like only good for the multiplayer, and
I played a game.
Nice.
Tell me about it.
So, it's a mobile game.
Oh.
Is it Pocket Morty?
It is 100% Pocket Morty.
I knew that would be right in your like wheelhouse, right there.
I mean, I probably would have tried the Rick and Morty mobile game just at least a little bit because it's free and it's Rick and Morty, but I heard it was inspired by Pokemon, which put it, obviously at the top of my list. It's not inspired by Pokemon, guys.
It's Pokemon.
It's 100% just Pokemon. They even give you badges like Pokemon. It's a ripoff in the best sense. Like they took Pokemon and they're like, let's just do this but funny. So I haven't got that far into it, but yeah, you're Rick and you collect Mortys like they're a Pokemon. There's like a mustache Morty and there's a Morty that collects stray cats and there's the regular Morty from the show, and you give them like moves and they have, instead of like types, like Pokemon has fire, grass, water types, there's like a rock, paper, scissors system. So some Mortys are rock, some are paper. It's fine for what it is. Like there are microtransaction stuff, like you can use real money to buy items. I haven't ran into that being necessary yet. It probably will at some point, I assume, because they have to make money. But for a free game in the style of Pokemon with Rick and Morty jokes, I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know, like you.
Lubba-lubba-dub-dub.
Yeah, you have to be kind of like the show, I think, to get the maximum appeal of it. But we all like Rick and Morty here, so
yeah. I'm still not gonna play it, but yes, I do like Rick and Morty.
We're down Rick and Morty.
I got Johnny to play some Pokemon. Have you ever played Pokemon, Leon?
Never.
God, you guys are so uncool.
Hey, I played it.
Whatever happened to Gary the War Turtle? I'll never find out.
I've got it. I still have it. Maybe I'm waiting for the next time that I'm like fever sick and in bed and can't sleep and things like that, so that I'm like, I want to play video games, but it's too cold and the air is like knives. Gary, I need you.
Was that his name? I just made that up. Was it like Steven or something? You gave him like a
No,
real human ass name.
No, my entire Pokemon, like I very purposefully named my entire Pokemon stable after people.
Yeah.
So that when other people are like, "Oh, you're playing Pokemon finally. What are what creatures are you using?" I'd be like, there's Gary and Steve and Dolores and Andrew and they're like, "Yeah, but what types?" And I'm like, "I have no idea."
It's Andrew type, obviously.
Do they ever make Pokemon games for consoles or the PC, or like do I always have to play it on a mobile thing like a DS or a...
Well, it's Nintendo, so it's always Nintendo hardware.
Right.
There are console Nintendo Pokemon games like the Stadium series, Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon
And Pokemon
Snap.
Snap.
No, I know of those games. I mean, like when they say the new Pokemon's coming out, is it always just the new Pokemon on the DS, or did they ever make them like for like the Wii U or whatever?
The main Pokemon games that everyone thinks of when they say Pokemon have been only on handheld so far.
Okay.
But if the NX, the next Nintendo hardware thing, is what people think it is, I think you might have a shot with that because people are saying it's going to be like a unified, portable, and home system architecture thing. That's the rumor.
But they are RPGs, right? I mean, this is almost...
They're the RPGist.
Okay, I mean, okay.
Pokemon is like a ripoff. Once again, I use that in an endearing way of Megami Tensei. You played Persona 3.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
It's a turn-based thing where you build a team and then you pick from a menu of attacks for your monsters to attack their monsters. In Persona, it's like monsters based on mythology. In Pokemon, they're animals.
Are the stories any good?
Oh no.
Oh, well, then no, I don't care. I don't play JRPGs for stats.
The appeal of Pokemon is the designs of the monsters because they're very cute. There's the music, which is very good, and then there's the social aspect because you can train and trade and battle them with your friends.
Oh my god!
It's also very compulsive, and this is something that a lot of people who play Pokemon don't get. But if you speak to anybody who's a fan of Diablo, they will let you know that there's a big drive in being like, I need to collect loot. It just so happens that loot in the Pokemon games are gladiator animals.
Well, I mean,
who rip each other to shreds for your amusement.
The American slogan was "Gotta catch 'em all." I think that underlines it. That's actually not the slogan in Japan, but definitely for us, that was a pretty deliberate decision. Pokemon's good. It's real good, guys.
Sounds like it's not the thing I want at all.
No, it might not be for you. If you want a story, don't go to Pokemon. The stories are bad or non-existent.
Oh,
some of them don't have stories. The closest they ever had to a good story was Pokemon White and Black. And I would just characterize that as okay. It was fine.
All right.
But, was that a yawn? Who was that?
That was genuinely me yawning. I guess we talked about Pokemon too much.
Oh damn! I have other things to talk about. I watched some stuff. I have thoughts. We have questions. How do you want to handle this, Leon?
How about we do some questions and then we talk about another thing and then we do more questions.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll look at mine.
Mixing it up.
Yeah. Let's get weird.
Let's freestyle it.
All right. I'll get the Crisco.
Someone said, which internet famous cat is your spirit animal? Nah, I'm not doing that one. I'm sorry.
Wait, what internet famous cats are there besides Grumpy Cat? I guess
there must be more.
Long Cat. There's Long Cat.
I like that one video about the stupid cat where it's a song, but I don't want it to be my spirit animal.
There's that it's like General something. He's like an old crusty looking cat. I think he actually died recently. I only know this through friends.
That's my spirit animal right there.
Oh god.
Hold on. Yeah.
It's like a screaming cat shooting lasers. I guess this is the title card now, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you guys not hear about that cat?
No, where did this come from and why?
It was originally like Team Fortress 2. I'm going to assume that you're both familiar with it, right?
I know it exists, but I don't know anything about it.
Right. Well, one of the things that Team Fortress 2 is most famous for is how friendly it is to like users and modders and things like that. How you can like make maps and cycle maps and things like that. Well, at some point in time, there were these maps that were showing up that were basically designed just to like stat push players. Where guys, like people had designed maps and it was like they were really short, but you got like plenty of rewards for getting into them. So this one guy at one point in time designed a map that looked exactly like a looked exactly like another stat pushing map, basically, right? But then after a couple minutes inside, the ground starts to shake, and you know what? There's a 1.5-minute video. I'm just gonna put it in here.
Let's watch it because it's the best thing to do on this audio show.
And you can see exactly what happens. So,
all right.
So.
Okay. For the record, the cat I was thinking of, I googled it. It was Colonel Meow.
Thank you.
I think you need to leave at least some of that in for context, because Johnny just sent us a video of like a Team Fortress 2 machinima with a laser death cat.
It's not a machinima. It's like it's actually like that's actually a level, and this cat just appears out of nowhere after like 90 seconds of playing and just starts just destroying players.
Leon's just losing his shit. Oh wait, I know another internet famous cat. Do you guys know Little Bub? He's a cat who has like a birth defect, so his like tongue is always hanging out. It's a cute cat.
I know a dog that does that, but I didn't know there was also a cat.
There is. You can just Google Lil Bub. It's the
Okay, I see Little Bub. Oh, he's adorable.
Yeah. Very cute. I'll take that answer. I'll take that bullet. I'll be Lil Bub. Leon, you have to be Grumpy Cat. Sorry.
Okay. Oh.
And Johnny can be Laser Death Cat.
All right.
Did you look up Little Bub?
I am. I'm looking at Lil Bub right now.
He's really good.
He's amazing.
Oh, we've shared something.
It's impossible how cute this cat is.
I know, that's why I claimed it.
I feel like we've grown closer as not just friends, but men.
Okay. All right. Let me go to the another question. No, I'm not gonna do that.
My favorite part of this show is when you throw question askers under the bus. All the people who ask me questions are wonderful.
No. Someone says, wait. This I don't know what this one means.
Just read it. We'll find out together.
Clayton Smith says, "What's your least anticipated movie of 2016?" Something I haven't heard of.
Well, yeah, that's like someone asks, like, "What's the worst video game ever made?" You're like, "It's some shit no one's ever heard of because it."
Superman v Batman: Dawn of Justice.
No, but what I'm trying to say is like, if this is a personal like question. It's not. They're not asking me what's gonna be the worst movie of 2016. They're like, what's the one you're least looking forward to? I don't know. Something I'm not gonna see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's something that's like, if it's least anticipated, it's so off your radar, you're not even thinking about it. I think more like the spirit of the question, what they're trying to get at was like, what movie do you think is going to be worse, or are you dreading the most?
Batman v Slumberman, Soup of Justice.
I don't know a lot of movies that are going to be that I anticipate will be bad in 2016 because I don't follow that shit so much.
Starring Jesse Eisenberg as the Riddler.
I want to see Green Room. That's a one I want to see, for example. But I can't think of anything that like I know is coming out that I'm like dreading because I'm just not going to see it and I don't expend any energy on it.
And Ben Affleck as Baker Man.
Johnny's doing his own show over there.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a douche about this. I'm just saying that I don't watch a lot of trailers is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I think it's more of, Leon, you're not the kind of critic who goes out of their way to see bad stuff to bash on it for fun. You just are interested in good stuff, so you don't keep, that kind of stuff on your radar.
Right. I actually did a few.
How do you feel about the new Star Trek movie, Leo?
I'm gonna see it. I'm anticipating it. I just don't know what it's gonna be like based on.
Are you anticipating it more or less than Rogue One?
Less.
Okay, all right. So it's below Rogue One.
Even though, like, if like someone like said I must choose between Star Wars and Star Trek, I would choose Star Trek, but I'm not choosing this Star Trek over this potential Star Trek, I should say, over that potential Star Wars.
Right. Okay, so what about then Bake Man versus Puddle Man?
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I don't think it'll be good, but I'm looking forward to watching it and experiencing it and then being able to talk about it with you guys. So I am.
So are you anticipating it more or less than Star Trek?
Gosh. I guess less because I have such low hopes for it. But basically, let me put it this way: the bar for Star Trek for me is kind of high. Like I expect a quality product out of it, so I'm jazzed about it. Even though I am also worried. Whereas Batman v Superman is like. Regardless of what happens when I watch it, I'll be like, yeah, I just want to talk about it. And
okay, what about Backman versus Underman?
So stop Johnny. Hashtag stop Johnny 2016. He must be stopped.
Or Suicide Squad.
Oh, I kind of want to see that, but how do I put this? Look. There aren't a lot of superhero movies I want to see. I mean, that's the truth of it. Will I see it? Only if I hear really good things. And by really good things, I mean, if people say, yeah, it's like as good as Ant-Man, then I'll probably just not watch it. But if people say, oh, it's good as the first Avengers movie, then I'll be like, yeah, that's a solid film, so I will watch it.
Like there's no need to even parse it that far. You're like, oh, if I hear it's a good movie, I'll see it. If not, then I won't. Like it's not even its own separate thing anymore.
That's the thing though. People give, let's say, glowing reviews to superhero movies that are just pretty okay. And I care so little about superhero movies right now that I don't want to watch a pretty okay superhero movie, even though it's pretty okay. I'm that's how much I've turned off to it.
The answer for all three of you, however, though, for this question is going to be Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass.
I didn't even see the first one, so I don't care. So yeah.
Or the Angry Birds movie.
Now that I'm aware of that the new Alice in Wonderland is coming out this year, I can say that that's pretty far down on the anticipation list. Because now I know it exists, and I don't care about it at all. I'm not anticipating it at all. And that's it, I guess. Let's do one more question, and then Austin can tell us about stuff he's watching. And then we'll go to his questions. Because why not? On our landmark 90-second episode, we're doing things different. Let's see here.
Got to switch it up in the big 9 too.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing that one. Worst movie you have ever seen. Hard mode. No Snyder.
No Zack Snyder, presumably?
Yes. No.
Ooh.
Even on easy mode, I would never say Zack Snyder movies are anywhere near the bottom.
No. My most hated movie. I don't. Worst is hard, but if I can just like fudge the question a little, my most hated movie is Rent.
But that movie's confidently made.
No, I mean, no.
I'm gonna think about this for a second, so leave me out of this because this is gonna require some.
Right. The worst movie I've ever seen is probably some shot on video piece of crap that is barely you can barely even hear it. That would probably be the worst movie I've ever seen. But if I'm started watching something like that, I just kind of turn it off. Whereas I had to watch all of Rent based on a deal that no longer exists. So I had to watch it, and it actually made me angry when I was watching it, which is not an emotion I often feel in general. Like when something bad happens in my life, I don't really get angry. I get upset, which is different. I get weepy about things that are bad in my life. I don't get angry. And I certainly almost never get angry watching a movie because they're movies, and I derive a lot of joy out of watching movies, even movies that aren't that good. I'm like, yeah, well, at least I watched another movie and I can add that to my Letterboxd account. But watching Rent made me really angry because the movie sincerely believed that the protagonists were good people, and I disagree with that.
Well, we had the Rent conversation.
Yeah. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. It's not just a bad movie; it espouses like some damaging philosophies.
Yeah, it's like saying Birth of a Nation is a good movie because it's competently made. It to me, and that might be true, but it doesn't matter because it is a damaging piece of art.
Damn, getting compared to Birth of a Nation is like a death blow.
Sorry, but yeah, that's how I feel.
For me, the worst movie I've ever seen is probably the Adam Sandler flick Going Overboard. Have you guys ever seen that movie?
I've not only never seen it, I don't even think I know that one.
It's really, really bad. It's the worst. I sat through the whole thing though. I think the only movie I can remember that I've ever been like, I can't handle this. This needs to be off now. Was Anchorman 2, which is a pretty competently made film. It's just so deeply unfunny in every aspect that it was painful and I had to turn it off. Like I made it through Going Overboard, but that was like the opening scene. Adam Sandler turns to the camera and goes, "You've heard of low budget movies, but this is a no budget movie." Like it is that it's not well made.
I'm looking it up.
Basically,
now.
A student film.
Yeah,
it's like
I'm looking at it now. I didn't know this existed. Even the cover. I'm sorry. I know this is radio. You said this makes no sense for anyone, but Google Going Overboard and look at the cover of this thing, and it is embarrassing.
He explains to the camera like the whole movie basically is because they got access to a ship and some supermodels on it, so they film him telling jokes on a ship with supermodels walking around. It's like a stand-up routine mixed with like a softcore porn. It's the worst movie I've ever sat through.
Oh my god! I believe
it's a real thing Adam Sandler did.
You say that as though like Adam Sandler isn't particularly known for having flops at the box office.
He's not. He's very successful, Johnny. He sucks, but he's very successful.
It's funny because this was made in 1989 before Adam Sandler really was anyone, and yet he somehow wrangled Billy Zane and Milton Berle and Billy Bob Thornton into this movie. So it has like
Saturday Night Live, dude.
All right.
Got those connections. You can get people.
Yeah, I guess he was in that at the time.
It's not like his later movies, the ones that were like the era we're in now. He can't get big name talent just because he sucks.
Yeah, that's true because
he can get people.
I watched the first 10 minutes of The Ridiculous Six because I thought I was going to do a worst movies of 2015 episode, and I decided no, I actually don't want to do that because that's not really what I want my show to be about. And I torpedoed that. And part of the reason was I had a really difficult time watching this bad movie. And like 10 minutes in, you're like, oh, Nick Nolte is in this. He's like a really good actor.
I'm glad I've inflicted Going Overboard on you two because you didn't know it existed before. There's another movie I did something similar with, but we weren't recording. I think that was Dice Funk when I told you guys about the movie Nothing But Trouble. Written and directed by Chevy Chase, which is so unbelievably bad that like no one admits that it exists, and like all his friends even said in interviews that they only did it because Chevy asked them to, and they knew it was bad. That is a movie like I have never heard anybody talk about it.
Didn't you say that it was written and directed by Dan Aykroyd and not Chevy Chase?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But he's in it. Chevy Chase is in it.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to mention something. If the beginning of Going Overboard is Adam Sandler saying this is a no-budget film, that is bullshit, at least according to Wikipedia, because it has a budget of $200,000, which is a fairly low-budget film. But
it's still more than Primer.
It's still yeah. What did all that money go toward? Did Milton Berle just ask for a lot of money? or like, never mind. I don't care. It's not worth it. Johnny, you haven't answered this question.
All right. I think I know.
All right.
Waking Life.
Oh, was that the Richard Linklater film?
Yeah, the Dick Linklater.
Yeah, I've seen it. I wasn't feeling it. There, I may have been in a bad mood, and it's deeper than I thought it was. But
it's not.
But when I watched it, I couldn't help but feel that I just did not like this at all.
That it was a wank? That it was a giant, like, skimming the surface philosophy wank about a guy who was just like, hey, do you ever think about life? What if we made a movie about that? It is one of the worst movies that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's disjointed. It barely has one theme that it coheres to. It just it makes all these really awful assumptions and then expounds on them without asking itself pertinent questions. It pretends to be deep.
Okay.
It pretends to imagine that it's asking really important questions that nobody has ever asked about reality before, but it comes across as a first-year philosophy student who is asking all these questions now once they've been exposed to just a little bit of philosophy and not being okay, dude, that question that you're asking, which is really obviously based off this other question that some other guy was asking back in the 17th century, has been talked about for about 400 years or so now. People have asked much more piercing questions than the one that you don't seem to be asking and are utterly embracing, as if by reading that one chapter you have somehow discovered a flaw in the very nature of the universe. You haven't. So I have a great idea. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Go back and read what dozens of people who are much fucking smarter than you are, who have actually studied things like logic and how to properly argue and ask questions. And once you've read those, come back and we'll talk about it then.
Take that, guy who directed School of Rock, starring Jack Black. That'll teach you.
Look, I mean, okay, obviously it's not the worst made movie in the world, because at the time, rotoscoping was new and everybody was oh wow, what a unique style of animation and stuff like that, right? But it pretends to be so much more than it is. And I cannot abide by that. If somebody decides to make a horror movie and they've only got $20,000, so their effects are cheesy, and the acting's not great, whatever, I'm not going to really ding you for it. I'm not going to be this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, because it's this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen with what you had to work with. This movie had its sights set so high and it failed to deliver even a perfunctory understand.
Yeah. Do you want to throw anything else in there? Do you want to shit on
no,
Boyhood?
Boyhood was a rolling disaster of a film.
Damn, what about Scanner Darkly?
Wait, you didn't like Boyhood?
We're just going all in on Linklater. Take it, bitch.
I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the efforts that went into filming Boyhood. I did. Okay. But I will not pretend it's some mind-numbing philosophical statement. I found it a little bit okay, no, I'm not going to get into that. All right, I'm not going to pretend it's some weird mind-numbing philosophical statement that we should appreciate the present. That's not new. That is nowhere near being a new thing. The only thing he did was he spent fucking years of his life wrapping up an old platitude in such a labored way that everybody felt like they had to be oh wow, yeah, nobody's done that before. Wow, yeah, good for you, buddy. Right on.
What I liked about it, here's the thing about Boyhood that I enjoyed, and it's not even the effort that went into it, although I certainly appreciate it and respect that. If someone like didn't tell me it was the same kid and it was just a series of actors, that they kind of looked alike, and they did aging makeup for a couple of the actors, and I just watched it as a neat drama, I'd be like, yeah, I still like that, because to me it was a very engaging drama. I enjoyed the characters and I enjoyed what happened. So like you can like even if you separate the praise it gets for how long it took to make it and the incredible amount of effort and time and dedication it took to make it and all of that other stuff, and just as, a neat movie, I liked it as a neat movie, and
I'm not shitting on it. Like you'll notice that I'm not saying that Boyhood was a bad movie. I'm saying
Right.
that I did not like Boyhood.
Okay.
But Waking Life is a bad movie. It was worse than School of Rock. School of Rock I had fun with.
I like School of Rock fine. I mean,
I know, it's just
What?
Austin's
What's that?
being salty here because he thinks I'm picking on the small kid or something like that.
No, I'm really not. I'm just trying to be like funny. Just
I did,
throwing out-
like-
he has a weird filmography, so I was just
He
throwing out
does.
he made.
He does. Like I didn't even really like Dazed and Confused very much, to tell you the truth.
I didn't actually see that one, so I
Well,
can't speak to it.
the thing that I didn't like about Dazed and Confused is that it's like, it was released in 1993, and it was like, oh my god, this is like the perennial like 1970s, pardon me, the perennial 1970s like teenager like stoner flick. And I'm like, no, dude. A lot of those movies got made like in the 70s and 80s when that culture was actually active. What you've done is make a movie 20 years later about a culture that was already active in media about itself. Like I feel like it didn't really have a place.
Welcome to See You Linklater, the the internet's most preeminent Linklater podcast.
I'm not. Look, he's not a terrible filmmaker by like any means or anything like that. I really like To Scanner Darkly. I think it's one of the best adaptations that Philip K. Dick has ever seen on screen. I did like School of Rock. I thought School of Rock was fun. Suburbia I liked. Suburbia was the movie that I thought a Dazed and Confused should have been, because it was made in the 1990s about disenfranchised teens in the 1990s, and I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I get this, But there's a couple of things that he's got that I'm just like, that I don't. They don't resonate with me, and I feel like they're confused. And in the case of Waking Life, bad. It's a bad movie. It's a bad movie.
Man, we let a dog out of a cage I did not even know was trapped there, Leon. Oof. Oof.
Yeah, it's like I didn't. This is a new thing I learned about you, Johnny. You have certain issues with Richard Linklater, which I did not know.
I don't have issues with Richard Linklater. Okay,
With some of his filmography, I'll say.
I didn't like Boyhood. I didn't like Dazed and Confused, and I think that Waking Life is a bad movie. Those three movies,
Okay.
of the like 20 plus that he's directed. Those
He has made a lot, yeah.
All right. So no,
All right.
I have issues with Snyder because like he's batting 1,000, man.
300 is super good.
Let's
Oh, Austin,
Let's
one
not.
of these days, man, you're gonna say that. You're gonna be
Uh-huh.
like, oh, but 300 was amazing, and there's gonna be a knock at your door. And like, what the hell? Somebody's like wailing on my door. What's going on? And then all you're gonna get is just the sound of me strangling you in this podcast from 2 microphones.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. Should I do a question now,
Yeah.
Leon?
Unless there's any you said you watched things, but we went on a long time.
We did. We went on so long.
I didn't expect
I'm
that.
sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're okay. No, you're okay. We learned things.
I make decisions, and then people are like, Johnny, you're fucking crazy. Explain yourself to me. And then I have to be like, okay, well, I don't hate someone as a human being. I just find
You're like, look, everything went red, and then I woke up and Linklater was dead. Okay. I don't know how this happened. I can always push back my personal stuff. I'd rather get the questions because people were so kind as to send them in. All right. How we usually go on like an hour 20 now. It's our new time.
Yeah.
We have fun.
We try.
Except when the anger takes over.
Yeah.
So, question. Catastrophe, it's with a K, asks, one of my friends from the UK is going to Baltimore soon. Does Leon have any survival tips for them?
Run. Don't.
No. Be white.
No, that even won't help.
Oh no, that's serious.
No. I'm a mostly white person, and I live here, and I hate it every day. I used to be like amused about the fact that I'm back living in Baltimore. Like, oh, this place again. I never expected to be back here. Let me tell some Baltimore stories. And now I'm just like, God, I want out. I want out so bad.
Character development for Leon.
Yeah. No, it's more like regression. I made peace with it, and now I haven't.
It's still an arc. It's
okay. Survival tips. How long are you staying? If you're just visiting, like you're on vacation, come during the day. Go to our aquarium, and do some fun stuff, and then just leave. If you're planning on like staying for days, get a hotel outside of the city and just
only come out at night mostly,
and then drive into the city during the day and hang out and do stuff, and then just leave and bring a knife. And,
oh my God!
What kind of knife?
Switchblade. Those are the coolest kind, as we have discussed on a previous episode.
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot the Switchblade conversation.
Yes, they are.
That came out of nowhere. So yeah. No, I'm exaggerating for comedic effect here, but in all seriousness, this is not a great place to live or raise children. It's not even a great vacation spot because there are things to do. We have museums and theater, and we have an opera house and all kinds of things that I never want to do. Because I'd rather not. If you come to Baltimore, go to the Senator Theater. It's a historic theater, and by historic I mean it's literally a historic landmark. We had to make it that way so they wouldn't shut it down. I
like it how you say we, like you can take some part in that. Where you're like, yeah, we went down there and we told them, listen, buddy.
No, Wednesdays they have old movies playing. Thursdays, the Charles Theater has old movies playing. They're having the Holy Mountain play a week from tomorrow, and I can't see it because that's when we do Dice Funk. Yeah.
Are you talking like what's his name's Holy Mountain? El Topo?
Alejandro Jodorowsky.
Yeah, Jodorowsky. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. The Holy Mountain is playing at the Charles Theater a week from tomorrow when we're recording this. But anyway, come do shows. You know, there's lots to do in Baltimore, and then just leave and never come back. That's the plan. I got
alternately, you could try my philosophy when it comes to tourism.
Yeah.
Don't, and then pretend you did. How was Baltimore? It was great. I really liked the cement.
Very crime. Wow.
There's not even a lot of cement. It's mostly brick here. That's it. Next, I guess.
Next question. I've settled on this. I've read this person's name a couple times, and I'm just settling on JM Balls. So that's what I'm saying now. I guess everyone's just going to have to deal with that.
All right.
They ask, pork, beef, or chicken? That feels like a Johnny question.
Yeah. I haven't eaten pork, beef, or chicken in quite a bit.
God, Leanne, can we just go one episode without mentioning we're vegetarians? God.
It's the second one.
Fuck. Trying to push your goddamn lifestyle, your hippy-dippy liberal bullshit on everyone.
Johnny, this is all you.
It's the problem is that they're all good for different things.
And there's a lot of different ways to prepare them, right? Like ham isn't much like bacon, even though they're from the same animal.
But But much like my Star Trek or Star Wars, where I must choose, you must choose now, Johnny.
You see, here's the thing. On its own, no. Bear with me here. On its own, if we're just talking like, here's a slab of, I will take beef. Because it's heartier. I feel like you can like get more like flavor out of beef. If we're talking about like versatility, it's got to be chicken. Okay. So like if it's like you have to prepare a meal, we're going to tell you what it is, and then after, like you have to select what meat you're going to use, and then we're going to tell you. I would pick chicken because you can use chicken for tons of stuff. You can use chicken for like Mexican food, Italian food, you can barbecue it, you can fucking like,
Okay, guy from wings. Forrest Gump. Just slow your roll there.
I'm just saying is that chicken is probably the most versatile.
Here's the real test, Johnny. You can only eat one for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to.
That's the real question. I think if I was still eating meat, I probably will again. Like I said, this isn't a lifestyle choice; it's a financial one. Probably pork. I think ham is super dope. I like bacon on a lot of stuff, and pork chop's pretty good.
Yeah, do you like bacon on your cheeseburgers?
Sure.
Well, say goodbye to the beef. That's just a bacon sandwich now, son.
You can eat.
Yeah, that's delicious. Yeah, Johnny, thanks. Thanks for the bacon sandwich.
There are like pork sausage like as a replacement of the beef. I've had those before, and it's quite good.
Pork sausages are great. Pork sausage is fantastic.
Yeah. So I'd actually agree with Austin on that one. If I mean one day, I'll probably be like, yeah, I'm super fit now. I think I'll have a burger. If I had to choose, I'd probably go with pork.
I can hear Johnny's brain just like screaming. This is the hardest thing he's ever had to do.
I might have to go with beef.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might have to go with beef because most of the salamis that I know are made with beef. And then burgers, beef Wellington, Philly cheesesteak, steak in general,
the whole steak family.
Even short ribs, man, like beef short ribs. I mean pork. I would be sad to lose pork. Pork is a close second, but I think I'd have to go with beef.
All right, good question, guys. Here's a double dip dice funk question. You ready for this one?
Yeah, this will be the last one, so it better be good.
Jordan Briggs asks, how did Leon rig the RNG to roll high multiple times in last week's Dice Funk? Can't believe he rolled that high without cheat codes.
The what and what?
The random number generator.
Random number generation.
Oh, okay.
How did you cheat, Leon? Everyone knows Ronaldo sucks.
No, but that's the thing about last week's episode.
Which you should definitely listen to because shit went down.
Yeah, I got a lot of high rolls for Ronaldo to do things, which is very, very unlike me. But as I mentioned during the episode, it didn't mean anything because
it's very like you to roll extremely well when the roll doesn't mean anything.
Right. So
listeners may recall Leon's unending quest to find a secret passage in the unlikeliest of places, like barns, for example.
Right. The one time, of course, that Ronaldo did find a secret passage, it was like, well, the only place it really could be. So,
yeah. For the record, Roll20 is not cheatable to our knowledge. I understand it was a joke question, but I think one of the cool things about our show is that we're all really accountable. It's not like we're rolling real dice and can lie to Johnny, like he knows.
Johnny
knows. Part 2 of the question. This is I am the Eggman asks, on Dice Funk Season 2, will it be the continuing adventures or a new set of heroes? And the way I envision Dice Funk is kind of like the Tales of series or Final Fantasy or like even like Doctor Who or James Bond or something, where it's like one series, but everything we're gonna like basically blow it up to the foundation and build it all up again with new. Won't even be the same players, let alone the same characters.
Are you kicking me off?
Who knows? No, we're not.
No, he's kicking me off.
Okay. I actually, I mean, and this is it's entirely up to the DM, if he whether it's Johnny or not. But I was hoping that some of the characters would survive, but but to me, like we should only like remove the characters when that naturally happens, instead of like they reach level 7 and like we've basically done everything now.
It's not out of the question that there could be references or like ties in, but I want it to be like so that anyone can get on at the start of any season and enjoy listening.
Wait, so like in all seriousness, like real talk now. Like at the end of this campaign, like Ronaldo and Anne and Jane like walk off into the sunset.
Who knows? We might die.
No. And also no, like
we might ascend to godhood. We could just walk off into the sunset. We don't know.
No, listen, this is actually a serious question.
I know.
I didn't know that this was a thing. I thought I would be keeping my character until he died.
I mean, I don't know. I think for the second season, we'll work it out. I'll probably be DM because I have a thing like in mind. And if you want to play Ronaldo, we'll work it out.
Okay.
But it's not a guarantee.
I think the problem in answering this question is that we haven't even established how long a season's going to be.
Yeah, I have no idea how long this is going to be. Because I thought this was going to be over a couple of weeks ago. I'm glad it isn't because I love this story. But I have no idea when.
Oh, I thank you, Leon.
Yeah, no, I really like it. I genuinely don't know what's going to happen next because I wasn't expecting us to be split into 3 different storylines at the end of last week's episode. So
it's getting crunk. You guys have to listen to Dice Funk. I do want to let's just get it out there because I was saying we probably talk more about future plans when this season concluded, but you just said like you don't know when it's concluding, and that's the thing. No one does. We'll stop when we reach a narrative, like a satisfying point, right? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what I'm thinking as far as making each new season its own thing, is because I don't think any story can survive like hundreds of hours / episodes. We do an hour every episode. Like movies are satisfying in 2.5 hours. Like we don't have that much to say when we say everything we have with these people, whether they win or lose, live or die. We'll put them away.
I just realized that if you're the DM next time, then unless someone else takes up the mantle of Anne, this must be Anne's only campain. So.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely never playing Anne again after season 1.
Oh no. Okay. Well, I guess we'll figure this out later. In my mind, I always felt like I play Ronaldo until he dies, which is inevitable, and then I come up with my other character. But we'll I guess we'll figure it out. In my mind, this campaign ends when we kill all the bad guys, when there's no one left to murder.
Oh, Leon.
There must be.
I would have hoped that you guys would notice by now that I don't write very simple campaigns that are like, look, there's the bad guy, go get him.
I understand that, but there must be a way.
So far, you guys have been duped by
everyone. I said during the conversation, I was like, everyone has lied to us.
Duped by the leader of a gang in order to do something that actually turned out to be really charitable. But once you did the charitable thing, you totally told him to go fuck himself. And in the wake of that...
Spoilers. It's shit's complicated. I don't think there's going to be a simple, neat solution. We might reach a point where we feel we've defeated the enemies we can.
In my mind, there is a way to solve the game. Like, there is a part where the credits start to roll, but...
It might be China. It might be Chinatown. That's my ideal outcome. Is we walk away like, okay, we got to the bottom of some mysteries. Like there was a cost, but we can walk away from this like feeling like we know something. We've grown. It was sad, but we did it.
The shame of it is I can't use this out of character knowledge like in game because in my mind I want Ronaldo to like protect Anne to the point that he might actually die. But now that I know she's not sticking around anyway, I'm still gonna make him like sort of like stand in front of her all the time, and he's just gonna get killed for nothing. So
that's the way you have to do narrative.
Oh yeah.
You can't write like a story like, well, I got to save this guy for 3 sequels ahead. Like just tell the best story you can, and that's what I think we're doing.
Yeah. All right. Anything you guys want to say before we go?
For my final statement, let me do one more question real quick, because why not? Leon, can you stop me? No, you can't.
Yeah, I mean, I could end the call, but let's do it anyway.
Rick Armstrong asks, "What is something you like, but most people don't know you do?" Like we talk about, like video games brought us together. We talk about TV and movies a lot. I mean, I talk about like religion and sports. Have I ever talked about how I was really into making models? I
No.
used to do.
Oh my God, son! That's exactly that's where my mind went.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
I used to build like real cars, like engines, piece by piece and stuff, like paint them. And I used to do, was into Gundam real hard, because Gundam Wing was big when I was in middle school during Toonami. I was so up on fucking Gundam for so long. And there's a new series out. That's one of the things I watched. I guess I'll talk about Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans next week. But I'm back into Gundam.
All right. A thing that I mean, I feel like I must have talked about this at some point, but I mentioned on Twitter that I'm very, very excited that America's Next Top Model got picked up by VH1. So we're gonna get another season. We don't know yet if Tyra and Miss J and Yutsai and all the other cast of characters who judge this thing are coming back. But we do know that America's Next Top Model is going to be on VH1 now. And when I mentioned that, a friend of mine who I've known for years was blown away that I actually watched the show. But no, it's like one of my favorite shows. So that's a thing. I guess people don't always know that I watch. Although if you get to know me long enough, it shouldn't be that much of a surprise.
Because you're so fabulous, Leon.
just feminine. Anyway,
there are so many good questions we didn't get to this week. Someone asked what gym type we would be if we were Pokemon gym leaders. You guys don't play Pokemon, but my answer is psychic.
I don't know what that means.
What type of Pokemon?
Is peanut butter?
Yeah, Johnny, peanut butter is a type.
All right, just checking. All right, I'd be peanut butter then.
Of course you would.
It's a shame we're not going to get into...
No, wait, sorry, hard cheeses.
Leon, you'd be fairy type. I'm deciding that for you.
Nice. Oh, speaking of fairies, the thing I wanted to say at the very end of the show was I've decided that Fairy Tale of New York is my favorite song with the words Mountain Dew in them.
It's a very narrow superlative.
Yeah. So that's a thing. And I realize it's not that Mountain Dew, but every time he says Mountain Dew, when I hear that song, I'm like, didn't you know what that means to us? Anyway, that's it.
That was Gargantua too who asked that question, by the way.
Okay.
Thank everybody for the questions. I sorry I couldn't get through them all. We ran long on Richard Linklater. Send all your hate mail to that fool.
Shut up.
Does he have a Twitter? Hold on, let me check if Richard Linklater has a Twitter.
One assumes. I mean, who doesn't at this point? But
guys, leave Richard Linklater alone.
I'll tell you who doesn't.
What?
Richard Linklater.
Oh.
There is one on Twitter, but it's not him. It's
okay.
advertising and online mobile guy. I don't know. I'm just reading his thing. He has 300 followers. It's not him.
I think Richard Linklater would only tweet once a year, but when you look at it all in a row, it'll be really impressive.
It'll tell a story. It's the world's longest flip book.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go now.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't even get into the story of me trying online dating this week. Oh, well. So, time to go.
Don't eat sleepy grapes, everybody.
Johnny, did you answer the question about things that people don't know you like? He said America's Next Top Model.
Yeah. You said model making. I mean, I used to do model making, but that doesn't count because that's kind of your answer.
You can take the answer, and I'll say trading card game.
But I don't do it anymore. That's the thing. I don't do it anymore. I mean,
neither do I.
I'm pretty I'm pretty hard on my sleeve about most of my interests and things like that. Like I talk about movies a lot and media and video games and board games, music. No, everybody is well aware of my fondness for butts. I don't go very often at all, but I actually really like ballet. I really like watching ballet.
Can we just cut it off? Like the episode ends exactly when he says the word ballet?
No. I've seen ballet before, and I rather like it too. I just don't follow it.
Following it would be, I think, an exaggeration of how intensely I feel about it. But I'm Very
Not even the
rarely.
scene?
I rarely fail to be moved by it.
Okay. You're pro ballet.
I am pro ballet.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go.
Hurry, end it before we start talking again.